Howdy, welcome back to the channel. This video should have been 100% about the exhaust note of the Kawasaki Z650RS, but all I got was the reason for the wind noise is a combination of hooking up the Rode Go to the GoPro Hero 11 without a dead cat on it, but instead putting the mic inside a small Krieger bag which sits on the pillion seat behind me. What I wasn't expecting was the sheer force and loudness of the annoying wind noise. I've been Googling and YouTube watching to find the best solution for on-the-move good quality video sound, and so far everything I've tried has failed. I have a Rode Lav mic which I taped into the inside of the helmet, which was attached to the Rode Go sender unit on the underside of the helmet. In one video, the exhaust note of that ride into Hahndorf in South Australia is clear and good quality, but I've never been able to replicate it. In fact, all I seem to be getting is wind noise. I've had wind noise reduction on and off on the GoPro 9 and 11, and neither of them seem to work at reducing the actual wind blast. Clearly, the Rode Go is designed for static sound collection or voiceovers, or speaking to the camera while fairly stationary. I've tried putting the microphone sender unit under the seat on a cloth, as I've seen more than one YouTuber give this a go to collect the roar of the bike exhaust, and it's worked, but not for me. The reason is the GoPro 11 Media Mod has the microphone receiver unit in the cold shoe holder, and the sender unit under the seat is not connecting. Obviously, being hidden under the seat means no signal is able to penetrate both me and through the seat. So I have to rethink the entire microphone issue, as I believe the exhaust note from the Z650RS is one of the best stock standard exhaust sounds on any bike out there today. So instead, here's a relatively twisty ride in South Australia between the towns of Kanmantoo, great name, and Nairne. The name comes from a local Aboriginal term, Kungatuko, meaning different speech. In 1839, Scottish squatters were the first Europeans to settle in the area, hence I guess why the town was given a name which referenced the Scottish accent. The early settlers brought with them mining skills. High quality copper was found in 1840. What started as an underground mine eventually became a vast open-cut mine. Gold is also extracted from the mine. The plug was pulled on the mine in 2019, and not for the first time. There were plans floating around from various developers to turn the deep and wide open cut into some kind of water sports reservoir. Now, anyone who's dived an old quarry knows how incredibly cold the water is compared to the ocean. So while they may have had plans for scuba diving, I'm not so sure it would have been the safest place to practice dive skills or the most pleasant. Those ideas, however, seem to have been scrapped, with funding from somewhere secured to drill deeper to see the levels of copper and gold still to be found. Apparently, the core samples brought up provide enough evidence of a life extension for the mine of at least 4 years. Kanmantoo as a township, however, is one of those TARDIS towns. For those not in the know, a TARDIS looks like a phone box on the outside, but once you walk inside, it's actually the size of a small house. It comes from the TV series Doctor Who for anyone who's been living on Mars. Kanmantoo has a surprising number of houses, a general store and a post office, and a live music venue called the Carib and Hare. I've never been through when the place was open, but their website is nothing if not intriguing. Kanmantoo is well known for its bacon and high quality meats. I've seen their products advertised in restaurants on the menus, but I've never actually visited the butcher's shop yet. The ride up the side of the Adelaide Hills from Kanmantoo is a biker's favourite. It's not very long, but it's fairly twisty. You can see on this ride how quickly and eagerly the Z650RS tips in, almost too quickly and too sharply. I found myself wandering more than once too close to the centre line or too close to the edge, which is not where I like to be. I like to keep my lines as perfect as possible, so stay to the left on the right hand bend and stay to the right on the left hand bend. There's another video in this playlist series which tries to explain why these positions need to be taken up. So for a right hand bend, move the bike to the left, as it gives a clearer view around the bend than you would get if you were hugging the white line in the middle. The advantage here is to see whether the corner is tightening up or opening up. This helps you with when to apply some throttle to pull you out of the corner. For the left-hand bend, try to keep the bike right of centre, but not on the centre white line. Too close and you risk being hit by one of the maniac South Australian drivers who simply got their licence on the back of a cornflake packet. Too many drivers drift right up to or over the centre line, especially when cornering, so always be prepared to move away from the oncoming vehicle. The same reasoning applies to the left-hand bend as the right. That little bit better positioning means you can see further round the corner. If you're hugging the inside of the bend, you can't see anything. The next town after the bends is a small place called Nairne. Nairne was founded in 1839. One of the biggest employers in the early days was Chapman's Bacon Factory, founded in 1899. Imagine the smell of the whole town having a bacon factory in the middle of it. It operated until 2002 and has since become a small shopping complex. This little stretch of road between Kanmantoo and Nairne became part of the Princess Highway, which joins Adelaide to Melbourne, since the South Eastern Freeway was built in the 70s, creating a more direct link from Adelaide to Murray Bridge and allowing larger trucks and freight between the cities. All of these sleepy little towns have been bypassed. Nairne is one of the many small towns in the hills with houses, a few shops, cafes, a pub or two, and some of them with restaurants. Everyone seems to be trying to find their place, whether it be winemaking, gin distilling, strawberries or farm gates. So I thought I'd stand by this incredibly stunning toilet block wearing my new travel hat, which I've picked up from that wonderful cafe in Nairne. So as you can see, I'm sporting a lion and a rhinoceros on this side, which is really pretty cool. So it's been fantastic to have a ride out. Let's get out of the glare. To have a ride out and get out on the bike. There's only so much time you can spend in the house, and it's just been driving me up the wall recovering from this flu. So a slightly better view here of Yoshi, my incredible motorbike. So that was a real good ride. Hopefully I've been able to pick up some of the exhaust sound. Still having real big trouble with where to put the microphone. So this time I tried it in the Krieger bag on the way out to Nairne, just to see if I could pick up some of that great engine note. I don't know, we'll see when we come to look at the footage. But what a great little cafe. I'll put the name of it somewhere on the screen. And it's not open all the time, but it's well worth a stop. I didn't have very much, just some gluten-free toast, avocado, some tomato. I just wasn't feeling too hungry, but they looked like they had a reasonable selection, so great place. So great ride, put on about 160, 170 kilometers, and the helmet is absolutely covered in bugs. So I don't know what it is, about 30-degree day, maybe 26 up in the hills because it's always cooler. But fantastic to get the air, the breeze through your knees, as they say. And just a couple of kilometers now, there's a bit of a queue for the ferry, so I thought I'd drop into the absolutely stunning public washrooms, and then head home for a coffee, and no doubt tomorrow will have to be a bike wash, judging by the number of bugs which are attached to my visor. But great ride. So boys and girls, if you like this video, please give it a big thumbs up. Come on, it helps the algorithm. And I'm working on a 2012 laptop, so it does take a bit to put these videos together. But it seems that YouTube is my life from this point onwards. And we've got some big plans for next year. Not all motorbiking, but some real incredible videos to be made, I think. If only I can get to grips with iMovie a bit better. But hey ho, that's life. So big thumbs up, please subscribe, and see you in the next one. Thanks for watching.